you never actually find truth. This one got me stuck for a long time, and so I would love to share, because I am sure anybody seeking has had this frustration. Like, what are these people talking about? Where is it? Why can't I find it? Why can't I understand or realize what certain groups of people realize? It seems like it's us and them, and they have it and I don't have it. I had all these frustrations. Let me give you two examples. I remember on YouTube, I followed these two guys. I guess I still follow them. I just don't look at their stuff anymore. But one, I remember commenting, I wish I could find what you found, because you sound very genuine and awesome and whatever. I gave him a compliment. And he responded by saying, brother, I found nothing. That was so confusing to me at the time. I just thought, what is he talking about? And then another guy who was, it's always proof that whoever you're talking to has really realized something when they're just honest and kind in their answers and your frustration doesn't bother them. One guy I was borderline rude to because I was just getting frustrated because I could not figure this stuff out. And at the time I didn't know that that's not how it works. So his group was all about just very present awareness. And at one point he was responding to some of my comments, so I thought, cool, I have his attention, I'm going to keep asking questions. And I finally got frustrated enough to tell him, I don't understand why you won't answer me directly. Why don't you just tell me what it is that I'm not seeing? Because this is frustrating, and I feel like you're just beating around the bush and purposefully not giving me an answer. Like, what is it? What is the truth? What did you find? And his response was just as compassionate as the first guy. And it was something to the effect of, I understand your frustration, but if you found a conceptual answer, if you could answer the question, would that be satisfying? Would you be satisfied? And I thought to myself, yeah, I would. Just give me the answer. But then as time went by, I thought more and more about what he said, and I realized, I don't know, actually. Every time I find an answer, I want another one. So maybe that's not it. Now, I'm referring to my past frustrated self because I know there are people watching me who are probably in this state. And what I didn't understand at the time was the truth of who we are kind of shows up in reverse. And I mean that by, we don't really build or gain or finally reach an understanding of who we are because it's been there the whole time. That doesn't show up. It's not new. It's always there. The problem is we're born into what the Bible calls, we're born into sin. So we're born into the dysfunction of the ego and the human condition. And to find God through that, or to find the truth, isn't to find anything. It's to deconstruct or dismantle the false until there's no false left. And then what you find is truth has been there the whole time. Here's the problem, though. What's false is usually conceptual. So you can look at, analyze, talk about, and deconstruct error, what is false. Now, when that all gets broken down and the false finally disappears and you have this, what people call an awakening. Some people it's a moment, some people it's a slow, gradual process that you don't even notice is happening. And then something emerges in your life, something shifts, something changes, and you start living from this other place. That is the truth that everybody is pointing to, and the reason why there's never a direct answer is not because who are trying to beat around the bush or confuse anyone or hide something from you, which I thought, it's like, what are they hiding? It's because it's not conceptual. It's unknown. It's felt. It's a mystery. It's the opposite of everything that is false. So what is false can be talked about, can be deconstructed, can be, there's so many ways and books and analyzings and scientific formulas that we can find out this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. When it comes to what is true, that's not the case. That can be really frustrating for people like me who are very analytical. I was very in my head. Before I shifted to my heart, I was just a complete head case. Was always thinking everything was black and white, everything needed a structure. Now, that's part of the problem. There are certain personality types who are just more mental. It's fine. That's just that's how you're built. Not that that can't be changed or it can't be worked with. But for me, enough of my mental concepts had to be analyzed, seen through, dismantled, to where I finally got to the point where something driving my life, it's probably my ego and my thoughts, slowed down to the point where it stopped and shifted. And that unknown place, the truth of who we are, seems to be centered in and coming from the heart, not the head. So you shift from your head to your heart. You shift from the known to the unknown. Your heart has an intelligence. And science can even show this in a weird way. Like the vibrations, what do they call that? The electromagnetic field of your heart is like 5,000 times stronger than your brain. It's amazing. So whatever your heart is doing and producing on an energetic level is much stronger and more intense than what's happening in your head. The brain is needed. It's needed to navigate in the dualistic world. But it's not where you find the truth. That's where this mistake happens. We're so used to navigating the world with our brain and our thoughts and our perceptions that we don't stop to analyze that when we're searching for a higher or a deeper truth or God or meaning or the underlying fabric of reality. That's not found through your head. I hope that made sense. I didn't mean that to sound intense either. I had some coffee today. Oh man, it got me stuck for a long time. I was stuck there, I struggled, and I just want to try to explain that. Although it might still be frustrating, maybe after this explanation it'll make a little more sense. You don't actually need to seek for truth. When I say that seeking ended, that's what I mean. It would be a better use of your time if you seek the dysfunction in your own mind. Seek for, what are your thoughts telling you? Where are they coming from? What are they? And dismantle them. And then instead of trying to find truth, it just emerges naturally, unknowingly, not conceptually, as you conceptually dismantle false ideas and thoughts and perceptions. So truth will take care of itself. Life will take care of itself. Your body has its own intelligence. This place that I live from now, that lives me in a way. I didn't find it or do anything. It wasn't even part of my process. I was just dismantling thoughts and falsities over and over and over and over, and to the point where I found that everything that I thought was a complete nonsense. And then my ego just broke down completely, and whatever it is that arose, I will never be able to explain in words. I can just talk about it, I can point to it, I can help people sort of understand it by explaining what it feels like, and that's what I'm doing here. So yeah, every time you have an opinion, or you think you're right, or you get frustrated because somebody did or said something that you didn't like, that's what you look into. That's what you analyze. That's what you use your head for. And your heart. Once you get past the thinking about it, you can feel into it. And then you start noticing that everything is just a sensation, and the sensations are causing thoughts, and the thoughts are causing sensations, and it's a loop. Now, when you see all this, it just becomes hilarious. It just dismantles right before your eyes, and you didn't find truth. You found what was false. What's false breaks down, and then the truth just slowly arises, and more and more, and it seems to be getting stronger and thicker, and it's like evolving. I don't know how else to explain it. But it will arise on its own. Don't worry about finding it or awakening or any of that stuff. These are just words we use to describe something that's undescribable that will happen on its own if you do your part and break down what's false. All right, I'll stop there. Hope that was helpful. And thanks for watching.